Our last speaker this morning is Miss Brianna Bermudez. She earned her bachelor's degree of science in forensic science from Eastern New Mexico University and is currently enrolled in a forensic science master's degree program at Michigan State University. She's interned with the Albuquerque Police Department Crime Lab in the DNA section and the New Mexico Department of Corrections. She's been a member of the Young Forensic Scientists Forum since 2014, where she currently serves as the president.
Good morning. So just for those of you who don't know, the Young Forensic Scientists Forum is a group within the American Academy of Forensic Sciences. It was established in 1995 by Dr. Stephen Batterman. The goal of the Young Forensic Scientists Forum is to target young college students and professionals with less than 5 years working experience. We provide opportunities for young scientists to become more established within the field and the academy as a whole. We are continuously encouraging cross-generational interactions and mentorship opportunities, and we also provide presentation opportunities for young scientists. Yesterday, we hosted a special session, which was an all-day workshop with wonderful speakers who spoke to young scientists. And last night, we hosted a Bring Your Own Poster session where we had some wonderful posters by young students and professionals. I encourage you all to attend our Bring Your Own Slide session tonight after the business session. We do have a resume review session where we allow young scientists to have their resumes reviewed by wonderful past presidents and leaders in the field. When President Gerns first asked me to give this talk today, the first thing I thought of was in 2015 when President Martell asked us to do a flash mob dance at the business meeting. We all came up front and wore these lime green t-shirts, and the back of those t-shirts read that we are the future of forensic science. And I bring up this memory because this was a really important moment for me. Being told that you're the future of forensic science and standing up here among all these past presidents and people who have really worked very hard to bring forensic science to where we are, it's a very humbling moment, especially when you're up here and you feel a little bit like this. But with that, regardless, as a young scientist, we do have several hurdles as we enter the field. I'm just going to outline a few of the most important ones that I see coming up in the coming years. First being education and employment. As was previously mentioned, most fields, not just forensic science, are requiring higher levels of education for those wishing to enter the field. It can make it particularly difficult for students who are pursuing an undergraduate degree, but upon graduation don't actually meet the minimum requirements for an entry-level position. Many students will then choose to pursue that more advanced degree, but unless the degree is particularly intense in bench work and research, they still might not have those qualifications to get that first-level job. It can be a really big tug of war between having the experience you need for the job you want or just having the letters behind your name but little experience. I see a need for lab experience in forensic science programs, particularly at the undergraduate level, where it's more common in the graduate level. Another option for attaining this experience is through apprenticeships and internships. I'm a firm believer that the world needs more apprenticeships, not just formal classroom instruction. Organizations such as FEPAC have done invaluable work in solidifying forensic science programs and ensuring that the requirements that students are receiving in their schools are meeting a minimum threshold. Additionally, although forensic science degrees are becoming more robust and standardized, there are still misconceptions about what a forensic science degree means. I was told a story recently about a young student who wanted to intern in a lab, and she told the lab director she was pursuing a forensic science degree, and he said, no, I'm sorry, we just take real scientists here. So I think it's really important, and it's becoming more obvious that a forensic science degree is a science degree, but I think there are still some misconceptions as young people enter the workforce that we are real scientists. It is important that as a student, no matter what degree you're pursuing, that you make sure that the classes that you're taking are meeting those minimum requirements. Don't just take the classes that are the minimum to get you to your degree. Take the extra electives that are going to get you where you need to go. As we all know, the evolution of forensic science is happening at a very unique pace. Evolution tends to mean a slow movement, but evolution in forensic science is moving very quickly. In addition to new technology and the increasing scientific rigor of our fields, these are all advances that young people need to grab onto and run with as we go into the future. With so many applications of very different disciplines that we all lump together as forensic science, many of the gears and cogs are moving at different paces, with some disciplines moving faster than others. The continued implementation of standardization and uniformity across all disciplines is arguably one of the most critical advancements that we can be making. While these advancements that are being made by you all and the foundation that has been set, we're continuing to solidify the foundation, and I think it's really important that we take that foundation and we build upon it as young people. I do foresee a shift in public expectations from our field. Everyone knows the CSI effect has been well recognized at these meetings and in our community, but with newspapers and popular documentaries covering the closure of labs or questionable convictions of innocent people due to faulty scientific evidence, there's a possibility that public skepticism in our field is going to move from a CSI effect level, that it's expectations that surpass what our science is actually capable of, but actually moving to the public doubting the validity of our science, even though our testimony is scientifically rigorous and valid. Our science can lose this public credibility in the future, which I think is something that we all need to keep in mind as we move forward. The only way that I really see to combat this is to continue our efforts in standardization long after the torch has been passed to the younger generations of scientists. One of the more obvious ways, it can seem very obvious, but it's actually very hard to obtain, is quality mentorship. Universities are the first and foremost place that you can obtain a valuable mentor, with students attending universities based on their research interests or projects or programs. If you can't find a mentor at your university, I think the second place that you can go to is local conferences. Local conferences are a place where you can find scientists in your area who are willing to help you and guide you and obtain internships. Internships, and like I said before, apprenticeships are one of the most important ways that you can get involved in your field and see what's really out there besides just normal classroom instruction. AAFS, why we're all here today. AAFS is a huge reservoir of leaders in our field. We just need to reach out to them more. They are here to help us as young people. They want to provide us with excellent instruction and guidance. But as young people, we really need to take a big step forward and grab onto them and their knowledge that they have. The AAFS facilitates wonderful opportunities like the Young Forensic Scientists Forum and the Academy Cup to really bridge the gap between the older and younger generations. I would like to see a formal mentorship happen in the upcoming years. I know plans are in the works, but as young people, that is something we need to push for. When putting together this presentation, I really felt as though I really didn't know the problems that would be facing our generation as a current student in forensic science. And after listening to a couple of the early talks this week, you, the people in the audience, and the membership of the Academy are the ones who really know what the problems are that we're going to be facing in the future. So without your guidance, I don't know how we're going to be able to solve them. I encourage everyone here to ask yourself how you can help. As a young person, it is your responsibility to go out there and seek opportunities to find mentors. If you hear a research presentation that you're really interested in, you need to contact those speakers. And then also, if you're nearing retirement or you're a little more experienced in the field, I encourage you to reach out to the Young Forensic Scientists Forum and other young people here at the Academy who are looking for mentorship programs and people who can support us in the coming years. I really believe that mentorship is one of the only paths forward, and I believe that with mentorship, we can grow young scientists in our field to really reach our potential and hopefully become a leader in the field one day. And that's all I have for you today. And here's my contact information if you have any questions about the forum, how you can get involved, or anything like that. So thank you so much.
I think that John's vision for this session was fulfilled. From Ken Field to Brianna Bermudez, I think he pretty much showed that our future reflects our past. And in addition to thanking our speakers, I hope you will help me thank John Gerns. Since he could not be here, we're trying very hard to memorialize this meeting for him. And down by the registration desk, we have a journal. On the front of the journal, we have his theme, Our Future Reflects Our Past. And inside that journal, if you would, I'd like for you to note your memories and the things that you noticed at the meeting, what you enjoyed, so that he has your memories since he won't have his own from this meeting. And then next year in Seattle, go up to him and tell him what a great time you had at this session, because I think his vision was fulfilled. We had some interesting stories, and we learned a lot. And I thank you for being here. And again, please help me thank John Gerns for organizing this session. And we look forward to seeing you at the annual business meeting this afternoon. In addition, I forgot to thank Joanne Collins and Nick Lemos for arranging this session. They did a great amount of work getting everybody together and getting it to run smoothly, and I'd like to thank them.